Hey, Leslie, while you're here, we should ask you about this Robinhood story that's out there. The company's planning an initial public offering, but then sources are quoted with Reuters for saying that it's also building a platform that would allow somehow its users to get early access and snap up shares of new listings right alongside the big players on Wall Street. You know, right now, Robinhood users and other amateur traders can't buy into that stock of a newly listed company until its shares actually start trading. Since the shares often trade higher when they debut, big funds that get the allocations in the IPO have always had an advantage. That's just kind of the way of Wall Street. The average first-day trading pop on U.S. listings in 2020 was 36%, so it'd be great news if the retail investors could actually get access to this. But how in the world would that work from Robinhood's perspective? How do they get access to it?
Yeah, that is my question as well, Becky, because I think where this comes from is we saw a lot of IPOs, maybe not this week, because I don't know if anyone really is feeling too much FOMO from missing out on the IPOs of this week, which have all mostly plummeted in their debuts. But last year especially, we saw these massive gains in Airbnb, DoorDash on their first day of trading. You're talking about nearly doubling or more than doubling on your first day of trading. And if you're a retail investor, it's really, really difficult to get allocation to that stock and ride up the upside. And so I'm sure Robinhood faced its fair share of criticism from customers saying, you know, why can't I buy into these IPOs? I'm missing out on all these gains that the big guys get. Help me here. You're supposed to be democratizing finance. So, you know, what are you doing on this front? Now, the one misnomer about the IPO process, I think, is this idea that retail doesn't get allocation. Retail actually does get allocation. They usually get about 10 to 20% of every deal. This is done through brokerages like Robinhood and Schwab and TD. And it's definitely not much, especially when you think of the number of retail investors that are out there.
Right. The percentage of that goes to retail investors and the percentage of the investors that are retail is, yeah.
Right. And actually, you know, the rule of thumb on Wall Street is that the hotter deals, you actually have a smaller allocation for retail than, you know, deals that you maybe need to offload some stock at a certain. That was what happened with Facebook, is they gave almost too much to retail because retail was willing to buy in at the high prices that Facebook wanted. Now, turning this on its head, it's not actually up to the investors to decide who gets the allocation. The investors can want allocation. They can say we're willing to pay high prices for this allocation, but ultimately that decision comes down to the issuers and the banks, and they've kind of put together what's known as the book, and they say, you know, here's who we want to buy into this deal. So the idea that it's up to Robinhood to democratize the IPO process, it may be able to do so with its own IPO where it has more control, but I don't really see how they do that with other deals unless they get buy-in from the issuers ahead of time.
Well, they could maybe become a partner with an underwriter, right? That has costs and regulation that comes along with that. But if they did that, maybe they could be part of the auction process.
That's definitely true, and that would be a whole different side of their business. And you're right, it comes with different risks, different regulations, and different approvals in order to become an underwriter of these deals. And even if they were an underwriter of these deals, it's unlikely that they would be a lead underwriter, which is the one that's really tasked with allocating the stock. If they're, you know, farther down on the pecking order of underwriters, then they really won't have as much say. And I don't know, I'm hard pressed to see them being able to really elbow out, you know, a Goldman Sachs or Morgan Stanley from the leadership of many of these IPOs.
Look, Robinhood is very good at building a platform. They are engineers who are very good at building a platform. They've done a great job on that, but they have not done a great job with dealing with the risk, which is what we saw them run into, with the trouble they ran into earlier this year, with how much they had on hand and how much they needed on hand.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.